Hi everyone, this is Ankit Singh Meher from Vinod Kothari and Company, and this is the second video of our series on regulatory roundup of the year 2023. So, in the previous video, my colleague Mehak has already covered the amendment pertaining to SEBI listing regulations, and in this video, I'll be taking a quick review or recap of all the other amendments or regulatory developments notified by SEBI and MCA. So, I'll just quickly share my screen and then we can start our discussion. So, first of all, we'll be discussing various regulatory developments which were notified by SEBI guided circulars, and then we'll move towards SEBI ICDA regulations and SEBI buyback regulations. So in the year 2023, SEBI has revamped its grievance redressal mechanism by introducing several changes. So the first change which was made was with respect to introduction of a common ODR portal. So by these ODR portal, investor can now seek dispute resolution of their complaints through online arbitration or online conciliation as well. So this is the first time online arbitration or conciliation has been introduced online in this Indian securities market. So investor or the complainant now has two options to seek dispute resolution online. The one is obviously Scores platform, and the other one is the ODR platform. Apart from that, SEBI has also revised its existing framework of scores, and various changes in framework of scores are being made. So the first change which is made in the framework of score was with respect to reduction in timeline of dispute resolution. So earlier the timeline which was given is 30 days. Now it has been reduced to 21 calendar days. The second change which is made in the framework of scores was with respect to availing a second review of the resolution which was provided to the investor or complainant on Scores platform. Earlier, only one review was available. Now, SEBI has also provided the investor with the option to take a second review of the complaint of the resolution which the investor has received on the Scores platform. Apart from that, SEBI has also now assigned a separate designated body to each of its intermediaries who will now be responsible for monitoring the process of dispute resolution on this online platform and online ODR portal. And the designated body which is assigned to the listed company is stock exchanges. So this is the revision which was made in the framework of Scores. Apart from that, and in continuation to the amendments in grievance redressal mechanisms, SEBI has introduced SEBI Facilitation of Grievance Redressal Mechanism Amendment Regulations 2023. So by these amendment regulations, SEBI has amended its various other regulations such as RTA regulations or merchant banking regulations, etc. So the motive of this amendment regulation was to majorly incorporate or accommodate the changes which were made in the SEBI scores framework, primarily to incorporate the reduction in timeline of dispute resolution. So for that, these amendment regulations were notified. Apart from that, SEBI has now also introduced a format for reporting cybersecurity incident disclosure under the corporate governance report for quarter ended September 30, 2023 onwards. Apart from that, SEBI has also introduced a issue summary document which shall be made available by the issuer to the general public in respect of all the issues such as all the IPOs and FPOs. So for all the IPOs or QIPs or right issue or ADR or GDR for that matter, this issue summary document has to be provided by the issuer. And it is a summary form of all the relevant information which the public might want to know. So this amendment has been notified. Apart from that, SEBI has also tried to digitalize the process of investor service request and complaint by the RTAs. So SEBI has introduced a framework which will be implemented in the phased manner for digitalization of this processing of online service requests. So what is to be done in the phase one is that all RTAs will be required to set up a user-friendly online mechanism or portal for processing these investor or service requests from physical share certificate holder or security service certificates holder for that matter. And in the phase two, which will be begin from July 1st, 2024, a common website shall be made and operated by all the RTAs, and the physical security certificate holders can just go to this website and register their investor service request and select the name of the listed company, and the complaint will be automatically routed to that their respective RTA. So this is the process that SEBI has notified, and these are the various regulatory developments which were notified by these wide SEBI circulars. Now we'll be moving towards our discussion on SEBI ICDA regulation. So in ICDA regulation, SEBI has notified three major changes during the year. The first change was with respect to reduction in timelines of listing of specified securities in public issue. So the timeline has been reduced from 6 working days to 3 working days. Also, it is to be noted here that these revised timelines will be implemented by the issuers on voluntary basis for all the public issues which are opening on or after September 1st, 2023. But these timelines have been made mandatory for all the public issues opening on or after December 1st, 2023. So as we are on the end of the year, the revised timelines are now mandatory for all the specified public issue of all the specified securities by any issuer. Apart from that, SEBI has also widened circular dated February 3, 2023, has made some revision in the existing manner of achieving minimum public shareholding and also introduced two other methods as well. So this has been done to ease the practical difficulties which promoter often face in achieving the minimum public shareholding. So the revision which was made was in respect of the manner which provides that sale of shares by promoter or promoter group on the open market. So earlier the limit was the option which the promoter or promoter group have was to either sell up to 2% of their total paid up equity share capital subject to the condition which is specified. And now SEBI has also, in addition to this choice that investor or the promoter or promoter group have, SEBI has also given them the choice to sell up to a maximum of 5% of the paid up capital of the listed entity during a financial year, subject to the condition that the public holding in the listed entity shall become 25% of after completion of such sale. So this limit of 5% and this limit of 2%, the promoter group have the option to choose between either of these two. So this has been revised. Apart from that, two additions were made. The first manner which was introduced for achieving minimum public shareholding was to allot shares under an ESOP scheme subject to maximum of 2% of the paid up equity share capital of the listed entity. And the other method which was introduced was to transfer the shares which are held by the promoter or promoter group to an exchange traded fund. Also, for these two methods which were notified, there are several conditions which were attached to the these methods, and these conditions are prescribed in the SEBI circular dated February 3, 2023. So moving forwards, now we are discussing SEBI ICDR second amendment regulation. So in this second amendment regulation, various isolated changes have been made. The first change which was made was with respect to changes with respect to pension funds. So SEBI has now provided that only those pension fund which have minimum corpus of rupees 25 crore will be considered as a QIB. So this was the first change. The second change was that the issuer companies are now required to host the offer document or draft offer document on their website as well, in addition to the hosting of all these draft offer document or offer document on the website of stock exchanges or SEBI. Apart from that, a precondition for bonus issue has been notified by the SEBI. So now listed entities are required to take approval from the stock exchanges for listing and trading of all the securities which were issued prior to the issuance of bonus share. But these exclude the ESOP and convertible share warrants. So this is the third change which was introduced. The fourth change was with respect to inspection of material contracts and documents. So earlier only the offline inspection was made available, and while the second amendment ICDA regulation, the option to do online inspection shall also be made available by the issuer companies. So this was the fourth change. The fifth change was with respect to bifurcation of underwriting process of IPO and SPO. So the underwriting process has been further bifurcated into two categories, which is soft underwriting and the hard underwriting. So soft underwriting was made for the underwriting in case of rejection of application, and hard underwriting for case of undersubscription. So these are the bifurcations which were made. So that concludes all the amendment with respect to SEBI ICDA regulation. Now we'll move towards SEBI amendment with respect to SEBI PIT regulations and with respect to SEBI buyback regulation. So in the SEBI PIT regulations, SEBI has notified the change in the PAN-based freezing of online trading by the DPs. So in the earlier in the year August 5, 2022, SEBI has issued a circular in which our system has been laid down for restricting the trade by designated person by way of freezing their PAN at security level during the trading window closure period. So during the year, this framework has been extended to top 1,000 company, and with the issue of SEBI circular dated November 17, 2023, the framework has now been extended to next top 1,000 companies as per BSE market capitalization on June 30, 2023. So the intention behind this notification was to extend this framework to all the listed company, and it has to be achieved in a phased manner. So for now, the framework is applicable to the next top 1,000 companies with effect from January 1st, 2024. Gradually, it will also be extended to other listed companies as well. Apart from that, in the PIT regulations, SEBI has provided that where an entity is not in compliance with the SDD provision, which is structured digital database, the name of the compliance officer now will also be shown under the get code page of the listed entity on the stock exchange website. So earlier the name of the compliance officer was not there. Now it will also be included. So these are the amendments with respect to PIT regulations. Now for the SEBI buyback and amendment regulations, these notification came on February 7, 2023, and these amendment regulations were made applicable from March 9, 2023. So various changes were introduced with respect to each of the particular mode of buyback which are there in the buyback regulations. And then there are also some changes which were made to apply on all the mode of buyback uniformly. So we'll discuss these changes one by one. So the first major change which was notified by SEBI is that open market buyback through stock exchange, which is one of the mode of buyback under buyback regulation. So SEBI has decided to do away with this particular mode of buyback, and it will be completely phased out from April 1st, 2025. And the same shall be achieved by reducing the maximum limit of buyback and offer period for buyback through such offer. So this particular mode of buyback will be phased out in a nutshell. And the time after which this mode of buyback will not be available is April 1st, 2025. Apart from that, when we talk about the mode of buyback through tender offer, so there was also several changes which were made in this particular mode of buyback. The notable changes are as follows. So the first change was now the company can make an upward revision in the buyback price, and accordingly it has to decrease the maximum number of securities. So as to ensure that the offer size remain the same, but the upward revision in the price can be made now. Apart from that, the requirement of reviewing the draft offer document by SEBI and then SEBI provide any objection or comments on the same. So this particular requirement has done away with. Now this is not required. Also, there are several reductions in the timelines in this particular mode of buyback which were notified. I'll just quickly share my screen and then we can see those timelines. So these are the revised timelines which has been prescribed by SEBI. So due to time constraint, we will not be discussing these, but you can just take a reference from here. So next we are going to discuss the amendment, the changes which were made in the open market buyback through a book building process. So SEBI also discussed in its consultation paper prior to the notification of the amendment regulation that it is a rarely used process and not very much frequently used. So SEBI has tried to just revise this entire mechanism of buyback through open market, open market buyback through a book building process. So the major revisions which are made in this particular mode of buyback is that timeline and the manner of price discovery has been notified by the SEBI. So this is a crisp of all the changes which were made in the particular modes of buyback. Apart from that, SEBI has also made some changes, some minor changes in the all mode of buyback. So these changes were also there. So in nutshell, these were the amendments which were notified in the respective SEBI regulations and in various SEBI circulars. So this is all for today. Thank you for watching my video, and I wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year. And also for all the discussions we had, we have our separate articles or YouTube videos on our YouTube channel and website. So you may also refer to the same. Thank you all.